at the Department of Field and Environmental Engineering and the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. He received his master's degree in geodesy and geoinformatics at the University of Stuttgart in 2006 and obtained his PhD at the Technical University of Munich in 2010. After his PhD study, he worked as group leader for 3D data infrastructure at Heidelberg University in Germany. In 2018, he started his work as professor at Norwegian University of Science and Technology in Trondheim, Norway. His research interests include 3D city modeling, spatial data mining from VGI data, photogrammetry, and laser scanning. And Professor Fan, it's your time.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. It's up to where you are based. I'm trying to share my screen. So can you see my lecture in the presentation model?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, I see that I changed some the title, but it doesn't matter because today I'm going to talk about the human or we people as sensor for the urban infrastructure for the 3D or 2D modeling in the city area. As the host introduced, my name is Hongqiao Fan. So I'm working at the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at NTNU. So this is the content of the lecture today. I'm very sure that the most of you, the students, don't know NTNU, even don't know there's a university in the Technical University in Norway, I guess. So I feel that I want to introduce a little bit about our university with the main purpose that we may attract some of you to study or continue as a PhD at our university. So then I will start my lecture with a brief introduction of crowdsourcing geographic information data. It may be about two successful platforms. The first one is OpenStreetMap. The second one is Mapillary. Then I will demonstrate some applications with these two platform data. Finally, I come to my conclusion. So if you have any question, you can interrupt me or post the information in the chat channel. I'm not sure I can see the chat because I'm in a presentation model. I can see some notice in the chat channel. But if you have anything want to discuss or have any problem, just raise your hand. Maybe that will be better. So the NTNU is called Norwegian University of Science and Technology. It is actually not from the Norwegian. It is the short name from the. It is short name from the Norwegian name. It's not from the English name. On the image, you see the main building, the library of our university. So the university has a history dated back to 1760. At that time, it was called the Royal Norwegian Society of Science and Letters. So we got the real university level of the scale in 1910. It's like more than 100 years ago. At that time, the university got the right to give master and PhD degree. But the name was Norwegian Institute of Technology. So the university changed to its current name in 1996. It's quite new, and about 5 years ago, so we merged another 2 universities in the city, and you can see on the map. One is Ålesund, another one is Gjøvik. So we have 3 campuses right now, and have the whole university has normally students more than 40,000. So in the history, the university has 4 Nobel Prize winner, and we have 9 faculty. Okay, there's someone, maybe it's noise. And we have 65 departments in total. So this is the campus here where I'm sitting right now. So this is the campus in Ålesund. It's about 4 hours drive from our city. So this is another campus in Gjøvik. It's north of the Oslo area. So our department is actually very large. As you can see, we contains many different directions. We followed a German system, so we don't have many professors for the geomatics. As you can see, we only have 3 professors. And one is for geodesy, another one is for GIS, and I'm in charge for the photogrammetry and 3D modeling. So here I want to tell you some possibility. If you want to study or join us as a team, join our geomatics at NTNU. So we sometime when we get a project or we got internal funding from our university, we will announce some PhD position. And in Norway, it's very common that we put the advertisement in the job portal, the platform JobNorge. You can, if you go into that platform, you can search geomatics as a keyword. So normally you can see the advertisement and check the requirements and your background, and then decide if you want to apply. The PhD student with us at NTNU has the advantage with excellent and we provide very high salary in comparison to other universities or to other countries. It's almost about 500,000 Norwegian kroner per year. And even for PhD students, you will get 25, or I guess 24 or 25 days holiday in a year. And for some students, if I don't know the background of the students here in Audin, I guess there are some students in the undergraduate study program. So if you want to have a continue with a master study here related to geometric at NTNU. So I give you 3 very related master program here at our university. Geomatics, we don't have international master program. So only Norwegian student or the student from the Nordic country, from Sweden, from Finland, from Denmark and Iceland can join our geomatics master program. But you can apply for exchange study if you get a master admission at your universities. But you can apply for the very related master program. I would say that it is free of charge. You don't have to pay any study fee. And you can even apply for scholarship. So, okay, this is about our university and some opportunities to study at our university. Now I study my lecture with human as sensor for urban structure, urban infrastructure and urban geoinformation system. So it is mainly about crowdsourcing. Like I said, human as sensors. It is actually it was an idea from Wikipedia. So we all know Wikipedia is very successful. Now the most of people, if we have any problem or we don't know, we don't understand some word or something, we don't know how is that, we mainly go to Wikipedia. So to have a look, if you understand a different language, it help you even better. So if you compare the Wikipedia with the British dictionary, you will see that in the encyclopedia in Great Britannia, you will see they have totally 4,000 experts in the history, but they only have 80,000 articles only in English. So if you compare it with Wikipedia, you will see we have more than 38 million articles, but more than 50 languages, and it is real-time update. In comparison, the British encyclopedia, it is annual updated, and there are universities in United States that compare the reliability. They said that Wikipedia has reliability about 80%. So you can see the reliability is quite high. I would say my personal experience about Wikipedia is very good. I normally check Wikipedia if I don't know something. I'm not sure if you have a similar opinion. So inspired by the Wikipedia, so people see the possibility that if we can create a maps by using the power of crowdsourcing, or in general, so we just use the power of the crowdsourcing, and everyone contribute a little, and then we achieve a great production. So then we come to the idea of crowdsourcing. It's actually how people collaborate with each other and some the common framework in internet, and by using the technology of Web 2.0 technology. So crowdsourcing, so we all know the meaning, what is crowdsourcing, but actually crowdsourcing is it's this concept or this idea existed quite earlier. So long ago, before we have the internet, I don't know how it's culture in your country, dear students. I can tell you in Norway, crowdsourcing is a very, very good tradition. It is like, it has like more than 1,000 years history of crowdsourcing. But in Norway, it has another word in Norwegian. It is called dugna. So if you come to Norway, you say the dugna, everyone knows what is the meaning of the dugna. It's actually, the Norwegian people, they are struggling to translate it in an English word. So they cannot find a word, exact translation in English. But when I look at our field, the crowdsourcing, I suddenly understand, okay, it's a crowdsourcing. So you will see every year in the spring, and the community, the people living on the same street. So they make appointment together, and they come out to collect the garbages on the street and to remove the grass and to make everything clean and keep the good environment. It is actually very, very good tradition in Norway. And the kids in the kindergarten, in school, they learn this. They learn how to do the dugna, and even the Norwegian king, the current king, the Harald the Fifth, and the queen, and the queen, they go out together with the people. They collect the garbage along the coast. So this is a very good tradition in Norway. So everyone come out. It is so you have no right to request any feedback. You just do your things, and you bring your own food, your own water, and you contribute that. So then when I came to Norway, I quite understand this is kind of the dugna is crowdsourcing. So every student, if you have a chance to come to Norway, so you can understand this. Yeah, and so this is dugna. It's actually the same as crowdsourcing. When I explain this, so you can understand the crowdsourcing in a better way. So when we talk about the crowdsourcing platform, we give examples as YouTube. I don't know if it's some young students, you know the history of YouTube. It was actually at the beginning, it was a platform where everybody can upload their videos, and then it became the scare that it drew a lot of attention. Then just the Google just bought that. Yeah, and also if you check Facebook, Twitter, and other platforms in China, we have similar the Weibo and Youku and others. So all these platforms rely on the users. it is also called user-generated content. So we, internet user, we contribute and we make it possible that it is a society or it is a platform contains much data and give people entertainment, or the people can find out there is much useful information on this platform. So at this point, you may understand the power of the crowdsourcing. So everybody contribute a little, then we achieve a lot. And you can see I give the OpenStreetMap here because OpenStreetMap is the most successful crowdsourcing platform in the geographic information science field. And if we talk about, if we classify the platforms or the crowdsourcing platforms in the previous slides, so we will get this table. We have spatial data, we have non-spatial data. So in Wikipedia, in most of social media data, it is all about content, the text, without any geolocation. But we also have geolocation in some social media data, in Twitter, in Facebook, or in the Chinese WeChat, or in WhatsApp. You can have a geotagged information. And if we classify the geotagged information, the georeferenced information, so we will have two different categories. The first one is the active crowdsourcing. It means that people know we are contributing. People are aware we are contributing to the platform. And another one is passive. So it is just like you set the default function about, so you agree to share the location. But it is, sometimes it's not your intention to share your location. But the result is that you leave the location and with the time, and even sometimes with the content, someone sit in a coffee shop, he just tweets that, so I enjoy the coffee, or I enjoy the morning here in a bar, or in a coffee Bella Ciao, or some very nice coffee corner. Yeah, it's the passive. So it just automatically leaves the geolocation. But nevertheless, we have geolocation, we have geographic position, and we have time, and we have sometimes the POI, and together we can do a lot of things. So in the following, I'm going to give you two examples of the crowdsourcing platform. So you see that here we have another definition called VGI, the volunteered geographic information. This is actually when we narrow down the crowdsourcing to our field, to the geographic information science field, it then came directly to the definition VGI, the volunteered geographic information. So if you check the literature, the keyword, you can see that, I guess, yeah, you can see that many similar definition have been used in the literature. Something like the user generated content, user created content, or citizen science, crowdsourcing, the citizen participation, yeah. And it depends, citizen science, depending on the personal taste or the narrow down discipline. People might use different definition or different terms, but I will tell you in the GIS, we mostly use VGI, and in a geography, in a human geography or in the economic geography, people prefer to use crowdsourcing. This is a two difference. And I guess a lot of you from student side, you know, Professor Michael Goodchild. It's the VGI, it's actually came from him. He made definition of VGI. I don't want to repeat this definition. As you can see here, it is actually the collaboration, the paper, the internet user, they actively contribute to the geographic information platform. So now I come to the two successful platform. The first one is OpenStreetMap. The second one is Mapillary. The OpenStreetMap, I don't know how many of you know OpenStreetMap. I guess it's about half an hour. We can have some interactions. The student who knows OpenStreetMap or who has used OpenStreetMap or checked OpenStreetMap or contributed to OpenStreetMap, you can type yes in a chat channel. So I guess I can see someone. Yeah, I see two. Yeah. Okay, it seems we have some students know this and familiar with OpenStreetMap. Is there any more students? Great that you know this platform. Okay, great. So has anyone done some work, some specific project or small project, even some study project with OpenStreetMap data? Okay, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I know someone that doesn't know it's our purpose to introduce this. Okay, OpenStreetMap. So you know that about in the year 2004 or 2003, 2002, at that time, people started to use navigation systems in a car. And I don't know if you students know that the ugly, the very big navigation device, the mobile device, many years ago. It is only in very simple color, or even in the gray or the orange color. with very ugly visualization. But at that time, the data is expensive, and they even share the data. And then a group of people in the UK, in London, they were inspired by the Wikipedia, and they decided to have a platform to collect the data and have an open platform to provide free geographic information data. And they follow the slogan about everyone works for everyone. And then they established this platform in 2004. Yeah. As many of students know, it's not software, it's just a collaborative project to create a free and editable maps of the world. So here's at the beginning. You see the navigation device I mentioned. So it is very ugly, but it doesn't matter. People just, at the beginning, it is very difficult to edit the maps in a platform. The mostly data came from the trajectories when people drive on the road or cycling on the road. I still remember when I started my PhD in 2007 in Munich. So there was campaign in the internet, organized by OpenStreetMap. So they said you can apply to join this campaign, and if your application is approved, they will send you a navigation device. At that time, I applied, but they said you are a developed country, so we will not give you. And they sent the most device in the developing countries in South Asia, in South American and in African countries. Yeah. As I told you at the beginning, the most of the maps came from trajectories. In 2006, so Yahoo confirmed that OpenStreetMap can use their area photograph as background for the map production. So this is actually a very, very remarkable milestone in the development, in the history of OpenStreetMap. So it means that the OpenStreetMap contribution turns from outside to the inside, to the indoor, from outdoor to the indoor. So people don't have to go out to collect data. So we can sit in front of our computer and to use the software as the background, to use the satellite image and aerial image as a background. And the work of collecting the drive on the road turns to the work of digitalization. So it is really a big thing in the history of OpenStreetMap. And in 2007 is another remarkable event in the history of OpenStreetMap. the company AND in Netherlands, they decided to contribute their data to OpenStreetMap, and then it started the time of mass import. And it means that organizations, including the authorities, including the authorities, they can import their data and as a contribution to OpenStreetMap. So if you check, I don't know how from the student side, if you have any experience of checking the history of OpenStreetMap data. So if you have the opportunity to check it, so you will find out in Netherlands and in the United States, there's a lot of data imported by mapping authorities. And this is a great opportunity for OpenStreetMap to get high quality data. And here we should mention the most remarkable things in the history of OpenStreetMap. It is a Haiti earthquake. So we all know that the devastating earthquake, it caused many loss in the human life and in the property. It was a very big disaster. But after the disaster, many countries, and including in the United Nations, so they try to help. They send the rescue team in Haiti to help them. But then they don't find any maps. So we all know that this country is very poor and is less developed, and they don't have they don't have good mapping infrastructure. At OpenStreetMap at that time, they organized people to map where to go, where can the rescue team go. And you can see here the three maps, before the earthquake, after the earthquake, and in 2017, just like today. It doesn't change so much from the 2017. But you can see from 2 days after the earthquake, a lot of data increased in the Haiti area. So it helps the rescue in the region. And it was approved by the United Nations. It was mentioned several times, many times in the press at that time. So this event brings OpenStreetMap in the sight of the ordinary people. Then people know that, okay, we have a so useful platform, so we can contribute that. So it made OpenStreetMap quite famous after that. Then in 2010, they give the license that OpenStreetMap can use their satellite images for free, and it increased the contribution a lot. And another platform I will introduce or explain later on is Mapillary. So it started in 2014, but it is actually a project based on OpenStreetMap. It used OpenStreetMap for the geo-reference. And also there's a project connect OpenStreetMap and Wikipedia. So to get more information from Wikipedia to OpenStreetMap. So this is the city area where I'm living now. It is Trondheim in Norway. So if you look at the map, it actually includes all the features of ordinary map should have. So you can see here we have a sea, river, lake, railway, land use, and the infrastructure, everything that should exist in the map. Here is our campus area. The map in our campus area, as you can see, if you compare this drawn images, and you will see that even a bench in a garden is mapped here. I don't know if I can have a it's complicated. I don't know here. Yeah. And also, you can see it's here. It's a parking place. Here, the bicycle parking place are mapped here. And also, you see the red one, the red dot. They are the stairs. So even the stairs is mapped here. So you may know the project at the University of Heidelberg. It's called Open Routines Service. So they even provide the routine service for the disabled people. So they know where are the stairs, and they tell you how to avoid the stairs. So OpenStreetMap here, I guess I don't know how to remove it. You see the Chinese map, and if you check the road, you can put a lot of information. So this is the building information. As you can see here, if you map a building, you can put a lot of attribute information here. This is the OpenStreetMap structure, the D structure. So that contains the editing parts, the rendering, the visualization, the backup, the database. For some students, if you have interest to contribute, and you can use the online editing work, the ID, the JOSM, the Potluck, and the Mercator software. The most common or the most popular software is JOSM, the Java for OpenStreetMap. Here, you can download the satellite image in the local computer, and you can room in and edit everything, and everything offline. You don't use your internet, then you just submit your results. And I also encourage students at U because we are organizing. So we are organizing events, or we following the mapping event as a collaboration with other countries for the missing map action. I would tell you, it makes a lot of fun, and you get know a lot of students, and you from this event, you may have opportunity to get know professors at universities in other countries, in the United States, in UK, in Germany, in France, in Netherlands, in Norway, or in Denmark. And it may give you potential opportunity for PhD study or even for postdoctoral after that. I would encourage you to do that. You will get to know a lot of friends when you attend the missing map action. So if you check on the homepage, you will find the current missing map action. So mostly the case is that after some nature disaster, so we organize the mapping event. So there's a group that discuss and divide the task. And if you join, if you sign up, you will get assignment where to map and with instruction how to map. And you can also have online chat and discussion with other students at other universities. You have interactions, you have collaborations, and as I mentioned, it makes fun, and most important, you will get yourself recognized because you contributed to the society. People that really use your data to save life. And another project I want to mention is that this one is very, very remarkable recently. It's a Mapping North Korea project. That helps the country and helps the world to know them. It started by a group in South Korea in 2020, last year, just 1 year ago. You see, the grid is 2 times 2 kilometers grid. It is open. There was nothing last year in June. Only few grid was mapped. And if you check on the map today, it's like this. Almost everything is mapped. Here's some corner in Pyongyang. Now you see the power of the crowdsourcing, the power of the volunteers. So people contribute to use their spare time, and we create the digital world. It's amazing, I would say. So in the following, I will go fast a little bit because it's you can know the information in OpenStreetMap. So currently we have almost 8 million registered users. So registered user, that means they contribute. See, here's the registered user in distribution on the world. As you can see here, Germany, UK, and Netherlands are countries with very active or very they have a lot contributors. It's a new contributor. So OpenStreetMap, the platform still attract a lot of new contributor to join. As you can see here, the active contributor per month is about 40 to 50 thousand active contributors per month. It's quite a lot. And if you want to use OpenStreetMap data, I'll give you some information. You can download it from here. And so you may need some tools to make it small or to select where the data you can use. Here's a lot of resource where you can find the OpenStreetMap data, and they provide the pre-processed data you can use. And you can also get the data directly from OpenStreetMap platform. You just click the export, and you define the rectangle of the boundary, and you get your data. But it is very limited. You cannot get a very large area. And now I come to the Mapillary. Mapillary, the idea came from the competition or the rules, the license of Google Street View. So if you check the Google Street View, the usage indication or the license, you will see that you have to pay for their images, and you cannot do whatever you want, use their images. And they are internet giant. They try to make money, use their data. And then a group of young people in Sweden, they have the same idea as people of the OpenStreetMap. They just think about, okay, how about to have a platform to collect the street view image, because everyone now has a smartphone. We can have yeah, okay, I see the comments. Sorry, I cannot reply you. Maybe I can give you a reply after that. I will continue with the Mapillary. So they have the idea of the crowdsourcing for the Mapillary data, and you can see it's action against Google Street View. It was started in 2013 in Sweden, in the city of Malmö. I don't know if you know the city Malmö. It's a quite tiny city with a population like 400,000 population in total. It's a big city in Sweden, I would say. For students, you don't know where Malmö is. I can tell you the furniture company, IKEA, the headquarters is there. Then you have an idea. It is actually very close to the Copenhagen airport. So here's the Mapillary data in our city. It is actually not a line. The green means the trajectory of the photos. Every photo, every image is a green dot, and they connect with each other. Then it's here. on the map, the green lines on the map. So if you check the attribute information, you can have information like the time, the location, what kind of camera is that? Yeah, a lot of information. So we have done the statistic for all over the world. You can see here, it is a map of how much data in a country. The Germany, United States, Sweden, France, it's big nations, quite much, very much mapped in mapillary in comparison to Asian countries. It's so the Asian countries is still to be mapped with mapillary data. Here it's the mapillary data in a year. I don't want to say a lot. Yeah, it's the increase of the data in the recent years is actually a lot of contribution. Here you can see the contribution in the number of users in a continent in comparison to the number of the contribution or the amount of contribution in a continent. As you can see here, the European continent as the most contribution and the most amount of data with a lot of contributors. Yeah, this is a similar statistical results. As you can see, in Europe, they have a lot of member contributors. And here, when we look at the country, that we'll see United States, Germany, China, India, Italy, France, they have they're big nations for the contribution. Yeah, here's the active contributor. As you can see, it is, goes up and down, but the total, the overall tendency is good. There's an interesting phenomenon of the cross-region contribution or the interactions, because people in Europe that drive from their country to another country. It happens a lot in West Germany and in France and in Belgium, Luxembourg, because you know that the country is very small. When they drive, it's actually they can go through a lot of countries. Yeah, we have also made an investigation of what kind of device they use. As you can see here, the most of the devices, Huawei, Sony, Samsung, Microsoft, Apple, or others, LG. There's also the preference of the device in each country. And as you can see here, in European countries, the people use a lot of Samsung. Yeah, and in United States, people use, I guess, use Microsoft or use Apple. Yeah, this is how people contribute, collect data. We just divide, we just make classification according to the speed. So if you have the time, if you analyze the time sequence, you can estimate the speed at each point. So then we can know that the most of people that collected imaging while driving, and there are also people that collect images while cycling or by walk. So yeah, this is the inequality contribution as many platform. It's similar to Wikipedia or to OpenStreetMap. It is a few contributor contribute a lot. It's yeah, we see that a lot of registered users, but most of them that don't contribute or only contributed very few data. It is a very small group of people that contribute a lot. So we had these results in a country like Germany, Sweden, France, Japan, United Kingdom, and Australia. So it's also interesting to see the time of the data collection. So it is very obvious that the data collection is restricted by the season. As you can see here, in Sweden, Netherlands, Germany, United States, and Japan, the contribution for it's mainly in the April to September time. It's in a good season. And if you see in Sweden, it's especially obvious. It is in May, June, July, and August. Because in other time, other season, it's very cold, it's raining, it's dark, so you cannot contribute. Otherwise, the photo quality is very bad. But if you check the Australia, it is opposite. So because Australia is located in the south, so the people contribute in December, in January, because they have good season that time. Yeah, it's hours because the contribution you realize in the daytime. It is actually from 9 to 16. It's the best time for the illumination. Yeah, and still, if students want to work with Mapillary data, I want to suggest you to work with the quality of the Mapillary data. It is a very good direction, so you can check the positional accuracy, the density, the coverage, the image content accuracy. Yeah, the quality is a good issue for your research. And also, yeah, you can collaborate with us. Yeah. And now I can give you some applications with Mapillary data and the OpenStreetMap data, including some applications or some research work has been done by us at NTNU. I will go very quickly about these applications because it's not very scientific. So the one of them is disaster response. That as I mentioned, every time after the disaster, nature disaster, there are a lot of people they try to help with the data. Also, it is a good way to have the topological map, and in many European cities, especially in the East European city, in Bulgaria, in Romania, even the public transportation company, they use OpenStreetMap data. And also it's a good source for the 3D cities. And you can see there is a very good project in Heidelberg. At Heidelberg University, they use OpenStreetMap data for the 3D cities. And one other thing is the routing service. And it is a project in OpenStreetMap. You can see here, it is, I checked the routing from Trondheim to Oslo, then you get very detailed routing plan. Yeah, the mapillary, we have done, the research communities have done work about the traffic sign detection, and we have also done something, as you can see here. So the motivation, I don't have to explain much because it is free of charge. It's highly updated. It covers in the whole globe. And we use this data. We can use data for the high definition map. And so here at NTU, we detect the traffic sign and we generate the cycling road map for OpenStreetMap. Here we developed the traffic sign and detection algorithms. So based on the existing neural network, so we add the attention-based mechanisms. As you can see, the last equation in comparison to the equation upper equation. So we add the learned displacement. We learn where is the traffic signs in the image, and to detect more accurate about the traffic sign. Here, this attention mechanisms in the network. So the results is that instead of searching in the whole image, we search the sign only in the possible candidate place. Then in this way, we increase the efficiency and accuracy of the search. So we also test our results in Berlin area. This is a loss function. This is a pre-processing. We use the mirror transformation, affine transformation, the RGB to HSV, and you can see the results is quite good. Another one is the cycling road attraction. So if you check the OpenStreetMap data, the cycling road map is still missing. So a lot of area they don't have the bike network. So then we have the idea to map the bike network, because it's very hard to see the cycling network from the satellite image. But it is a good way to see it on the street level image. So we designed the network as here, the multi-level network, to use the speed, to use the image content, and to make the deep forest network, random forest classification network, and to check or to decide whether it's trajectory is a road, it's a cycling network, or it's a car network. Here we even check the sign, the cycling sign, the bicycle sign on the road, and the sign on the traffic sign on the street, to see where a cycling road. And we also classify, because it's very important. You know that we are now in the pandemic time. People try to avoid the public or the collective transportation, and the bicycling, cycling, it's now very popular, at least in many European and American cities. And it's very important to tell them if they will drive with a mixture road with cars, or they drive in the separated cycling road, or it's a road, a cycling road close to the road, because some people that they try to avoid the mixed road to have a guarantee of safety. So here's our network. I don't want to go in detail. We tried our network and compared the data in OpenStreetMap and achieved a very high quality. And we also use metadata for the 3D modeling. As you can see here, the VGR data is distorted. We cannot use the existing dataset for the deep learning. So we established our own network, and also we established our own datasets for the deep learning. And here's our datasets, and it's open. You can use it. We have a lot of objects here in our datasets, and here's the object detection. So because the roof and the shops, it's very different in terms of size, with the windows, doors, and balcony. So we use two different network, the darknet and the darknet 90 and 53, and we achieve we test this by using the network, but no, by using the datasets available in internet, and achieve very good results. And also we test our own datasets. It also achieved very good results. So after the detection of the window and the doors, it is still that you know where are the doors, but still we have to deal with the distortion problem. And then we developed the rules as a facade grammar to adjust the size and distribution of the window and the doors. As you can see here, this is the rules, this is the grammar of the facade object. So we define many constraints for those grammars, and then we can use it for the object detected from the images. Also, it can be also applied for the object detected from the point cloud, from the layer scanning point cloud. As you can see here, after many iterations, we achieve very good results. Then we have the georeference step, and we combine the detection results with the OpenStreetMap data. Then we have the georeference, we have the size, then we can have the 3D. Yeah, now I come to my conclusion. It is all about the crowdsourcing, the VGI data. It's free of charge. It has a large coverage. It's highly updated, has a lot of information. The most importantly, for us students and researchers at the university, it provides us a good source for our research and for our study, because sometimes we have to pay for the data. Now we don't have to pay it. So if you want to use it, you just download it. And there's a lot of things left to do to improve the platform, to improve the mechanisms, how we do it better. And also there are a long way to go to use this data for high quality applications. I would stop here. And if you have questions, some opinions, we can discuss. And if you have any other question about the study in Norway, or yeah, I would be happy to answer your question. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Fan, for the excellent lecture. And all the students, if you have any questions, please type it in the chat box. Don't be shy.
This is quite how can urban building data be integrated with Mapillary? Yeah, Mapillary is actually only a platform to collect the images. So this is a way that they have a, you know, that every image has a coordinate. Because if you use the mobile phone, there's a GPS location. And then it is uploaded to the Mapillary platform. You can see every dot on the map. It is a Mapillary image. And then the difficulty is how can the image to be assigned or to be corresponded to the map, to the OpenStreetMap building footprint. Because sometimes you have an image with many facades, many buildings. How can it be corresponded to the OpenStreetMap building footprint? It is currently a research question. So we are trying to do something to solve this problem, but it is very difficult. It is very, very challenging. Even the first step, you have to separate buildings on the image. And then you count how many buildings are there and try to correspond it to the building footprint on OpenStreetMap. Otherwise, it's difficult. But it's a good research question. So if you have interest, you can go ahead. Yeah. Is there any more question? Courses in the subset of true in geosocial media data. Or otherwise, what is course sourcing, it's a way of, I agree with you. It's a tool, or it's a way, it's a method. It's a way to collect the data, to gather the data. And for the social media, it's like I mentioned, it is there's an active method, active crowdsourcing that you know you are contributing. you have the intention to contribute. And it's also, there's also passive. You can say it's a tools, yeah, but I would prefer to say it is a way for the data gathering or for the data collection. Okay. What do you think about maps? Something about security, map security. Maybe something about the precision of security areas. Yeah, it is and it is about two issues, or it is the same issue. If you check Google Map, Google Earth, it is similar. It is actually the same. People are not allowed to map the classified information on OpenStreetMap. To avoid this, that if you check, I don't know, because most of us, we don't know any security place. We are ordinary people, we don't know that. But there are some people, they know it. But if you check on the map, on the satellite image, even on the Google Earth, you will see the secured area or the classified area. They are replaced by other landscapes, by a lake or by some field. Yeah, it is. So you cannot map because the things you know cannot be mapped. There's no buildings, there's no road, there's no airport there. You cannot see it there. This is a way, a mechanism to avoid the people to map the classified information on OpenStreetMap, because OpenStreetMap doesn't want to get trouble with other countries. Yeah, and also I don't encourage people to map the classified information on OpenStreetMap. So we have to follow the law and the rules in the region where you are living. And of course, there is an interesting phenomenon in the area where nobody cares this. Nobody, because if you check it in the Syria, in the Middle East area, or in the area in the border between Russia and or in the East Ukraine area, you will see that the paper they just edit, it's called edit word, they edit in their way. Yeah, this is the special case, but I would say that you don't have to worry about the security because they have mechanisms to avoid this. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Is there any more questions? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know where. Okay, I stopped here because I didn't see the update. Okay.
Yeah.
The geography, what do you think about the map? Yeah, this is what I already answered. In our country, in each region, especially rural and the mountain area, ambulance have made up also as a map of every village, every bridge, and that cost much. Yeah, this I agree with you. The Red Cross, this is a big motivation, big driven force for OpenStreetMap. So in many countries, people contributed collaboration with Red Cross. I just want to ask where to start. For a computer science background in Peru with knowledge of image processing, machine learning, interesting in 3D meeting. Where to start? Yeah, for the 3D reconstruction, as you can see here, we started to detect windows and doors, and it is very limited or restricted to the ordinary or the common shapes, and you can work with different shapes. But since you are computer science background, I would recommend you to solve the challenge as mentioned before, as discussed before. So the correspondence between the buildings and OpenStreetMap footprint, it's a very challenging research question. So you can start with that. You will have a very, very interesting research topic, because you know much more than the geometric students, and you may have better idea how to separate buildings and make because if you separate, then the following step will be much easier. And the next ones, I'm not sure if it was mentioned. What are the mechanisms put in place to check the reliability to this data and the data security, especially non-spatial data, since anybody can contribute? I have to make my lamp. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, sorry. If you know the history of OpenStreetMap, I guess 5 years ago, it was called cartographic vandalism on OpenStreetMap. So actually, people can do whatever they want. They draw everything on OpenStreetMap because, yeah, as we said, it is volunteers. It is that people not controlled. And some people even delete arbitrarily. They made very bad. But you know that we trust the people at first. We trust each other. The contributor, we know that most of the people are very nice. And OpenStreetMap has also developed mechanisms to avoid this cartographic vandalism. So if you can only map at a certain level, and also there's a check mechanisms. So after you map, you contribute, you cannot see your data directly. So there will be a check now by the volunteers. So there's a community, it's a society. We have the divided task. The people will check whether you contribute contributed correctly. And there are a lot of contributors. They spend a lot of time to check if the paper made correct maps. And especially we pay much attention to the new contributors. So if someone just registered and a contributor, so a lot of people will check it. And if you are old user, if you are the passionate old user, so we will not worry about, because you have a reputation in OpenStream community. So people will believe you. Yeah, so in this case, in this way, so we guarantee the quality of the OpenStreetMap data. And also you see that the Linux, it is actually also a crowdsourcing project. The people just contribute to their things. They work together to make this open platform, to open operation system. And there's a Linux law that the more people contribute, the high quality we get. So it is actually the truth, the nature of the crowdsourcing. When the contributor amount reaches a certain degree, so you don't have to worry about the quality. So we also checked the contributor, who has contributed many years, the old users, they actually contribute very high quality data. And so we have the experience in Europe. The OpenStreetMap data is actually very high quality. So you don't have to worry about this. You just use this. Yeah. Okay, I don't see more questions.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Fan. I think it's time to finish the lecture. Thank you so much. And finally, I will kindly reminder, the next lecture will be held by Cheryl and Dr. Chen at 20 o'clock and 21st o'clock Beijing time, respectively. Please be here on time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.